Apologies for the delay, obviously. The technology got the better of me. Okay, apologies for that. I think Windows is still updating in Classroom 6. It will be for. Okay, we'll check by the time we leave if it's made any progress. And who would think that Bill Gates is the richest guy in the world? Laugh, laugh. Okay. Anyway, be that as it may, let's get ourselves going. Welcome to level 3, guys. Okay, we've got some new level 3s. We've got some not new level 3s. It's all good. Makes no difference. We're going to kill this all together, guys. Okay, let's get going. What I'm going to do tonight, guys, is ease us into this a little bit. Okay, we're going to do a basic intro into what is in level 3, what you can expect from level 3, what should make you scared, what should make you less scared, and even what's going to make you scared. Okay, how we're going to help you to get rid of that fear. Okay, so, and guys, also just a last little bit of admin. I do apologize for the Sandton campus. Okay, it is in. I was actually there prodding builders today. They are starting. They are building. They're putting up the drywalling, but they couldn't. I don't know why. Everyone else can work in December. Builders are not allowed to work in December. This is a rule, a law of sorts. We got to listen to that. We've got to follow it. And I had to wait until today, the 15th, when everybody was back. All the builders were back. And okay, but I don't think they know me well enough. Don't owe me stuff, guys. Okay, I'm going to be there every day in the morning and the afternoon to watch them. And if they tell me what they're going to do, best they do it. Okay, so hopefully the first 2 classes will be here. End of January, we're going to move across then to the Sandton campus. So I do apologize for anybody that we advertised and they came especially because they thought we would be in Sandton. I know some people are not so happy that we're in Sandton. Okay, some are, some aren't. Okay, you'll love it when we're there. Okay, let's get going. Guys, level 3, some of the guys, you know, keep in mind we did a little bit of an early start program, guys. So we have done this work already for some of the guys. We started September time of 2017. Some of the work we've seen already. Areas that we did cover from 2017, we covered ethics, we covered behavioral, and we covered private and institutional wealth. So we went all the way, if memory serves, up to the end of reading 13. So we've done all of that already, guys. Reading 1 to 13 has been covered one time. But remember what I said to you? We're covering all of it again. We're starting from the beginning again. So if you didn't come to early start, you didn't lose anything. Okay, it was just what we did do then is we took the more difficult topics, which I feel a little bit more difficult, needed a bit more work, and did them in a little bit more depth, a little bit slower. We're doing them all again. So if you didn't come to early start, you haven't lost anything. We do everything again. For those guys that have seen it one time before, I'm expecting some more participation, of course, as well as it'll be just a good reviser for you. It's always nothing wrong with seeing the work twice and even sometimes 3 times. Okay. So before we get going, guys, I just want to give you a basic intro into what your exam is going to look like. Those that are, how many guys writing this for the first time? Level 3 first time? Okay, most of the guys. Okay. Okay, so there's a surprise. I'm sure you know. It's not going to look the same as the level 2 paper. Half is, half isn't. The morning half, guys, okay, which is going to be what we call constructed response. Okay, this is the term that you guys hear that makes everybody a little bit nervous. It's called constructed response. And everyone says, oh, we're writing essays in the morning. Okay, so the morning session is 9. The normal 3 hours that you've written, you guys are veterans of this, coming there to the Sandton Convention Center or wherever else. Sometimes they make you write. You write 9 to 12. You know what time to get there. You know what to bring. Okay, a few surprises over here, guys. Constructed response in the morning. It's 3 hours, and when they say essays, guys, it's the furthest thing from an essay, to be honest with you. This is not an essay. What it is, it's normally about 9 to 12 questions. They average at about 11, 12 questions. Sometimes they can go up as much as 13 questions, and each of those questions, okay, is 4 to 5 marks. Could be 3 marks, 4 marks. There's no essays here. You're not writing, and the reason I want to harp on this a little bit more than normal is that it's not an essay, is because you're not going to come here with your creative writing. Please don't think you're going to come here and schmooze your way through this paper. I'm going to be a little bit tough tonight, guys, and then we'll build an approach how to pass this paper. You're not, 2 things don't bring with you. Okay, unfortunately, you're not going to pass this paper on creative writing, which is the only reason I managed to pass this, because asking my creative writing teacher, it wasn't pretty, nor was it creative. Okay, and general knowledge is not going to help you. To a large extent, your general knowledge is not here to help you. Okay, so if that's the case, we've got to see what's going to help you get through this paper, because for the most part, guys, the guys that pass and the guys that haven't passed will tell you this is the one you've got to focus on a little bit more, is the constructed response. You guys know how to do paper 2. I'm going to just skip that for 1 second, guys. Have a look at the afternoon session, 2 to 5 p.m. And that's level 2. We're back to level 2 stuff again. There's 10 vignettes. You know that from level 2. Each vignette is 6 multiple choice questions at the end. Total of 180 marks in the afternoon, and yes, 180 marks in the morning. Same thing. 360 marks in total. And as you can see, guys, 180 marks, and how many minutes have you got? 180 minutes, 3 hours to mark a minute. Okay. What's interesting, I'm now switching back to the constructed response, guys, is that it's not given to you in terms of marks. Okay. So when they say to you, for example, question 1A, they're going to say to you 1A, and behind it is going to be 4 minutes. Okay. It's not marks, it's minutes. Okay. And we need to see, when they say 4 minutes, is that 4 points? Is that 4 marks? We're going to go through that in a lot of detail. Okay. So a little bit of the admin behind that, okay, is you get a book to write on. Okay. So, and this can be a little frustrating at times, because what happens is you get your book and they say to you, question 1A, go answer it on page 26 and a half. So what do? You turn, you go to page, you answer the question, you come back to where you were before to answer question 1B. 1B must be answered on page 28. Back you go again. So you can move around the booklet a little bit. It does get a little bit frustrating, is what it is. But it's always better to be prepared for it, that you know what's coming, that when you get into your paper, you say, okay, well, where's my booklet? I give you a booklet, and away you turn. Okay, so that's they give you paper. A lot of the questions are going to be answered on lined paper, and quite a few of them will be answered in template format. They're going to say to you, please fill in the following answers on the template provided on page da-da-da-da-da. Okay, but the good news and the bad news. The good news, okay, is we are going to be doing 8 tutorials for the level 3 program, starting Sunday a week. Just when you thought you were going to get some time off, but as Lee says, she remembers level 1 was the worst year of her life. Okay, it wasn't really, of course, but it's just, we're going to work, guys. You've really got to put your all into this program. There's nothing more to this program, in truth, other than hard work. Okay, and I'm not criticizing anybody, but you've got to be able to put the time in. And I've got 5 kids at home, guys. Okay, so I know time pressure. And I know people have also got kids, and I know that time pressure, but you have to make your time for yourself. You've got to talk to your families. You've committed to this program. Okay, so some people have got kids, others have got dogs, some people may have family, some people have husbands. Everything takes time, guys. Am I right? Is everything good takes time, and your family is, of course, something very good. But you've got to beg them for a little bit of time, understanding, until the 22nd of June. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Absolutely. Okay. We have been blessed this year, guys. Okay, with Ramadan. I don't know if you're fasting or you're not fasting. It makes no difference. But because of that, we've been given another 3 weeks, guys. It's a blessing. Okay, we're not writing on the 2nd or 3rd of June like we normally do. We're writing later on. I think it's 21st, 22nd, 23rd of June, which is in that little bit of time. It's 2.5 weeks. It's gold. We're going to grab it with all of our hands. Okay, so in terms of the constructed response, guys, I'm going to talk a lot more about it in the next few minutes, but that is your paper 1. The morning paper, we're going to see, okay, it does take up a lot of time. Okay, it is time intensive, am I right? Okay, we've got to answer that paper with speed. Okay, which we're going to be doing a lot of that as well. So just in terms of the program, guys, we have a brief look at what we've got. We've got about 20 odd lectures. Of course, those you must come to. We've got around about 8 tutorials, if memory serves, And guys, for those tutorials, I'm not going to be spending much time other than on constructed response. Okay, so the tutorials, I'll be running a few, and Mo might run a couple. The moment you're stuck with me, okay, but I have got another guy who's I'm very interested as well. I'm just trying to see if that's the exact guy for the program, but also CFA. Now the CFA guy, lovely guy. You know, let's not say more than that, but I'm trying to pull that off if I can at the moment. Okay, if not, you're stuck with me. Okay. But guys, those 8 tutorial sessions, I know it's a Sunday morning. I know, and because I know it's a Sunday morning, what have I done? Out of the kindness of my heart, I've made it at 9. Wow. So it's not 8, so you can still jewel a little bit on Saturday night. Okay. 9 o'clock, you here. And guys, those sessions are the gold, guys, because those are the sessions that are going to teach you. We're going to go through past papers, past questions. We're going to mark the questions together. We're going to go very slowly because we've got the time in those sessions. We're going to go very slowly. We're going to teach you constructed response in those times. So I'm begging. Okay, don't look at them and say, constructed, just questions. We'll give that one a skip. Why? Because we've got something with it. So the only thing you're going to miss now is you're going to miss a brunch. You can make lunch on time by 1, and you can have an early breakfast. Okay. Okay. So some do, some don't. If you're not on that day, you'll I'll keep you posted. As I say, I'm busy prodding builders quite aggressive at the moment for the one for the 20th, which is Sunday a week. But we'll obviously keep you posted. So guys, that's vital. Those tutorials. That's going to be your big difference. There's going to be that one. When we finish the syllabus, guys, we run into revision course again, 3-day intensive revision course, and then after that again, I'm weighting it differently this time. Last time I think we went a little bit more on the vignette side. Now we're going more on the constructed response. Guys, I know you can do the vignette side. Having said that, we're not ignoring it by any means. Okay, we will be doing quite a bit of that as well, but it's stuff you've seen before. It's not a new skill you need to learn. Okay, I had an economist that wrote with us last year from Alexander Forbes, failed it the first time, came to us, wrote his first paper, and I phoned him. He said, how did I do? He kept on phoning me, how did I do? I said, no, not well. So he says, why? I said, because you write like an economist. I said, they don't want your interest rate projections and what you think. They want what they want, and they want it concise. They don't want flowery English. They want what they want. And what we're going to have to do, guys, and this is our job, is to give them what they want. What you want to do with it afterwards? You want to become an economist writer? I taught him how to write, by the way. Showed him where to fix up his stuff, and he passed. This is the paper that's going to hurt you or it's going to make you. And for us, it's going to make us. No more games here, guys. We're doubling down our efforts on constructed response. Okay. To the extent, guys, obviously, you know in your paper, and this is where they get you. What do? They put something that you don't know in the paper. So what do? What's your response? Waffle. How many marks are you going to get for waffling in your honors or in your any other degree that you've ever done? You'll get a few. Of course you'll get a few. And you guys are all professionals at that, aren't you? The professional wafflers. I was the same. Guys, Gareth, you'll appreciate you and I care you. I got to my board paper. It's called RTC now. And I finished the paper after 3 hours. I had 2 hours left to go. So then mine was a 5-hour paper. I think it's even longer now. And the last question for 30 marks, discuss the 2-liner. That was it. Discuss the benefits, okay, advantages and disadvantages of unbundling within a South African context. 30 marks. And I have 2 hours left. Okay. I could just about knew what unbundling was, not a whole lot. I could just about spell it. Okay, I had 2 hours. They got 7 pages. Okay, someone's going to read this stuff. Okay. And it helped me then. I got through. It's not going to help you now in CFA. And in fact, not only is it not going to help you, it's going to set you back. And why do I say that? They don't want creative writing. They don't want what you think. There's a mark, guys, and this is the scary part. I've got to scare you just this little bit before we unscare you. There's a mark plan. Okay. The markers have got a mark plan. If your answer's on there, tick, tick, tick. If your answer's not on there, next script, please. Okay, we have got to work out, and we are going to work out how to put onto those papers what they have on their papers. That's all we've got to work out. Okay, it's a little piece that we've got to work out how to get onto the, because if I show you what this economist wrote, guys, you would have been so impressed on his first paper. You would have been more impressed on the paper that he failed than on the paper that he passed. He writes beautifully. Even puts the commas and the dots in the right spot. Beautiful stuff, guys. But he failed that paper with me. And when I took him through it, he was changing colour. He said, "Have I got enough time to get through this paper?" I said, "Yeah, you got time. We got a lot to fix." But having said that, it wasn't a lot to fix because he writes beautifully. He's articulate, everything. But we've got to answer for them what they want to hear. That's as simple as that. There's no more games, guys. And I say to you, therefore, if you get to a question and you don't know the answer, for 4 marks, what do? You move on. Leave it out. Why? Because your waffle's not going to help you, number one. And number two, you're wasting time. Because waffle takes more time than am I right? If you know the answer, and you write it down. If you don't know the answer, you waffle. And what does waffle give you in this paper? Okay, so very important that we get that part right. And how are we going to get that right? 8 tutorials, practice, and more practice, guys. Okay, you do a question, okay, you get it wrong, you do it again. Okay, and don't think, well, that's a bit stupid, isn't it? Because I know the answer now. Well, if you know the answer, let's see you put it down again this time and learn how they want their questions answered. Yep. All recorded online for you. No excuses. All there. We're going to put that on. We're going to improve on that a little bit as well. But everything's there. There's no need for any, if you do miss it, I understand that, and there will be times, guys, I'm not trying to sound unsympathetic. There will be times that you have something on, pleasure, but catch it up. Don't leave it too long. But please, this is going to be what gets us through. You're in level 3 now, guys. Okay. There's and I say this with respect, there's very few stupid people with you. Everyone is doing level 3 is clever, guys. Okay. And we know, what else do we know? They don't put everybody through, do they? Okay. How do we get through? We work smarter and we work harder. Those 2 things are going to get us through. We have to just push a little bit harder. Okay. There's a clear correlation. They've done it with all of the designations, by the way. Okay. That the more time put in, the greater the chance of passing. There's no, even I know that correlation. Okay. One of our other fellow lecturers yet, he says the more unhappy you are, the more friends that you lose, the greater your chance of passing. Okay. If you annoy your spouse, also a good chance of passing. Okay, but please don't try that as a first prize. Okay, but guys, it's going to take time. It's going to take commitment. You guys are up for the challenge. We've got to just put the time in. Okay, it's a different type of thing. What I don't want, and this is where we're going to have to get to, guys, is please, when you get to the question, don't look at every single answer within this constructed response almost as a blank piece of paper in front of you. Oh wow, this is fun. Okay, I can write some nice stuff here. This is a blank piece of paper because it's not multiple choice anymore, so the answer is not there for you. But it's not a blank piece of paper, guys. There is a way to answer, and that's where we've got to get to, is to that way of answering, because that way of answering is the CFA way of answering. It's what they want, it's what they're going to give you marks for, and it's as simple as that. Okay, and it's not crazy. The good news, guys, is that most of the stuff sits where? Portfolio management. So it's not crazy. So I don't know if anyone's got a CFP background. Anyone? No. Okay. Then I can say this. Okay. Because Kurbis went and did a CFP. Okay, and he phoned me out and he says, "Please, can I take it off the resume that I put on for the lecture?" I said, "Why?" He said, "No, he's deregistering from it. He's taking his name off it." He said, "It's just costing him fees every year, and it's not a designation that's bringing him anything extra than what would his CFA and the other 10 that he's got." Okay. He's got he's got some. They're all competing now, by the way, all of my lecturers. Okay, both Paul and Mo, is in new lecture, we've got Muhammad Ishmael, are both doing Masters of Finance. I can't even pronounce it. I keep on saying INSEAD. I said, no, it's INSEAD from France. I don't know. But it's all I can tell you guys is it's a marvelous institution, as much as I know of it. Cobus got his from, and I keep annoying him because I call it London School of Management. I think it's London Business School. I don't know, it's one of those. But it's a very prestigious one. Let's leave it at that. So you guys have really got the top of the top. Unfortunately, then there's me. I've got my CA and my CFA. But they're both lovely designations as well. Okay. And I'm not traveling overseas to try and get a master's in anything. I try to explain that to my 5 kids and wife. That's a nice one. Not going to go down well. Okay. Guys, look at your weightings. Have a quick look at the weightings before we start. Okay, ethics, 10 to 15. What's the difference in this ethics and all the other ethics? Same story. We add one little bit extra called the AMC, the Asset Manager Code. Other than that, ethics is ethics is ethics. Where's your ethics going to come? Most likely in the vignettes. Okay, quants. For those that love quants or hate quants, it's not there anymore. What else do you notice is missing? FRA. So accounting's gone. Okay, quants is gone. Ecos is still there. Okay. Equities there, alts is there, and all your normal. But this is their little picture that they put out. I don't agree with it fully because every single thing that you've got over here, guys, okay, has got a portfolio management slant to it. Even the ethics, guys, has got a portfolio management slant to it. They're asking you stuff more about allocation or more about performance presentation. They're focusing on those ethical standards that relate much more to portfolio management. This paper is a 100% portfolio management paper. Okay, ethics, and that's why, guys, there's no accounting. What would accounting be doing in Portman? Okay, quants, we could put it in, but they haven't. You'll see when I say there's no quants, they're still going to give you something like a t-test, for example, and the hypothesis test, and say, well, are these acceptable or not? And you just have to know that kind of stuff. That comes up a little bit from level 2 as well. So, basic knowledge, correct. Nothing more than that. Okay. But then you have a look over here, guys, and what have I got? I've got equities, alts, fixed income, and derivatives. You know all of those. For those sections are all sections that you know. Okay. And then the Portman, obviously what fits under Portman, and this is where a lot of your constructive response comes, is individuals, private wealth for individuals, for institutions, things like that. And we have to know it's not hard stuff, okay, but we have to know how to answer that. Okay. Anything else I can add, guys? I just think give you the basics. Okay. Not much more over there. Okay. So that's our basic introduction. Some of the numbers, if you want them. There's 340 learning outcome statements, nearly half of what there was, interesting enough, for level 1. So you can see the focus has completely shifted. Level 1, it was a mine load of information. You had to get it all in and just spit it all out, and away you went. Here, it's integration, it's judgment. And guys, it's not a bad thing. Okay, because this is what the CFA want from you. That when they release you out into the market as a CFA charter holder, they want you to be able to take. There's no prizes, okay? Because guys, if all that they wanted from you is be able to take in information, spit it back, well then a computer can take your job. Okay, it's the integration, it's the judgment. Okay, and those are the key words. Look over here, guys, that they want from you when you answer your question. Mr. and Mrs. Jones are a 68-year-old couple, blah, 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 blah. What do you give them as their allocation? 55% equities, 45% bonds. And that's the answer. The answer is very close to exactly those numbers. And we've got to be able to work out how did the CFA get to those numbers, and how are we going to get to them to make sure that our answer looks like the CFA answer. And how are we going to do all of this? Very quickly. Okay, 180 marks, 180 minutes, we've got to move. So in addition to working out the correct answer, which we're going to do, of course, we're going to work on our speed a little bit as well. Okay. Good. Okay. There's your syllabus, guys. I'm not going to spend much more time on that. That's just a detailed breakdown of what we've got. Okay. We have covered, as I said, guys, for the guys that started early, if you have a look over here, we have covered the first 6 study sessions. We're going to cover them all again. So don't stress if you weren't part of the early start. Okay. What are some of the changes for the guys that are doing this the second time? Those that love fixed income, sorry for you. complete overhaul. Fixed income was completely overhauled for this year, and there were changes. Sorry, Nakedi, this is the fixed income. I was chatting to one guy, and he said, "Oh, fixed income! Can't believe that they've overhauled it." I said, "What are you talking about? You never loved fixed income." He said, "Oh, yeah, no, you're right." He didn't understand it before. He's not going to learn it this time, so they can change what they like. Okay, so that's the big one. And the other big change, obviously, is asset allocation. Those are the two big ones that they've moved on: is fixed income and asset allocation. Obviously, guys, we will be ready for those two, because those are. I don't say those are going to be where all the questions will come from necessarily. We're not going to guess or project, but we're going to be ready for those. Generally speaking, guys, the rest is the same as before, as last year. Not a whole lot of change. So we do have some nice questions from last year. We've got some nice things from last year. And there's our timetable, guys. We're looking at, I put that in the front of everyone's file. If anyone does need another copy, I do have some more in the office, so I can bring them back during the break for you guys. That is your, have a look at that. Okay. Yes. Yes. Well, let's go back a page. Brian said, well, what do they call portfolio management? The CFA level. Okay. It's quite easy to work out, isn't it? Because if we just elaborate, it's not ethics, am I right? Okay. Let's go down. Take you all the way down here, guys. It's not fixed income, because that's got its own topic. Okay, so it's not that one. It's not equity. Equity's got its own topic. Alts got its own topic. Okay. Derivatives got its own topic. It's here. Trading, monitoring, and rebalancing. Performance evaluation, that's in there as well. And if I take you back up here, it's asset allocation, both strategic and tactical. Okay. And then obviously back over here, it is obviously it's behavioral finance and private and institutional wealth. That's what they're going to call it. It's of little interest to me what they're going to call it, guys. And the reason being is because it's all going to be in there. And everything has got a portman slant. That's the key to level 3. Everything that we're going to be doing over here, guys, has got a very strong slant in towards portfolio management. Okay. Any questions before we start? What I want to do, just in terms of our approach, guys, okay, is in addition to making you guys excellent portfolio managers, which probably some of you are anyway. Okay, you don't need me nor the CFA LIII to do that. You may well be qualified as it stands. And Gareth's going to throw something at me from the back, but I want to add in a little general knowledge, additional information session, and not long, a couple minutes every session, every time we meet, 3, 4, 5 minutes every time we meet, just to add a little bit of something that's going on in the market, something that's going on out there, just to make us even better. And the reason that I've always liked to do this, but I met with a guy on Saturday, hell of a clever guy, and he told me, he said to me, he was telling me a little bit, and this is why I think Gareth's not going to like it, because what I love to do for the next 20 sessions is 5 minutes a session on Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, just to get us. It's so topical, it's so vital that, and you'll see that the only going to be a little bit on Bitcoin. A lot of it's going to be on the other cryptos that are out there. Okay, but I just think it's vital that we pick up on something extra. Come out with a little bit of. Anyway, this guy, clever guy, I shouldn't say, a CA. Okay, and he said to me, he's busy explaining to the table, okay, that the way you get Bitcoins is there's puzzles that you got to solve, and once you solve the puzzle, then you earn the Bitcoin. So I said, really? Yeah, that's it. He said. So I said, I've got another explanation. So he quite quickly told me that I know nothing about anything. So I didn't want to fight with my. So I said to him, he said to me, well, in any event, what do you think that they do? How else do you think that they earn? How else do you think people get Bitcoin? Okay, we'll start off with this, and guys, if we just have a brief look at Bitcoin, and I can tell you something. I've met 2 guys this week that are both mining Bitcoin at home to try and bring in a little bit of extra revenue. And what Bitcoin is, guys, and very important that we guys understand this, because I'm going to move from Bitcoin to blockchain, and we're going to, and I don't profess to understand everything, so I'm hoping you guys can chime in as well. Please feel free. This is a joint project, okay? The only thing I've got to say, and before something gets thrown me at the back, it's got to be more profitable than a certain share starting with an S, okay? At the moment, I refer to Steinhoff, guys. Okay. I think Steinhoff, my sense is that if you stick around, I think you could do nasty. I know, if memory serves, where did I hear this? I think Adrian Gore piled into Steinhoff quite recently as well. So you're in with good company. Okay. You've got to, I think it's going to be one of those that you need to stick around just a little bit. Okay. So, guys, before we move into Bitcoin, I'm only going to spend 5 minutes per lecture. I'm not going to take up any much time, but I just think it's very important. We look at this concept, okay, called the blockchain. What is the blockchain, guys? Anybody? It's a software. Okay. That's the word I'm looking at. It's a distributed ledger. And what a distributed ledger means, it's a ledger. Let's say, for example, there was only 3 of us on the ledger, for example. Okay, I'm over here, and I've got a balance of 1,000. Okay, and Lee's over there. She's got a balance, sorry, Lee, 500. Okay. You must remind me, I must change it all of our. Okay. And Storm has got a balance of 6,000. What the distribute. Okay. Lee's up to 5,000. I don't mind being the smallest. It's okay. Okay. And a distributed ledger means it's open to everybody. It's distributed. It's open to everybody. I can see your balance. You can see mine. There's nothing hidden over here. Okay. And when I say there's nothing hidden, okay, we need to see just to what extent I can see your name, because everybody now talks about Bitcoin. And I'm moving away from blockchain now into Bitcoin, that it's the best currency ever if you want to deal in dodgy kind of stuff. Now, why is it the best currency in the world to deal with in dodgy kind of stuff if I can see everybody's stuff? It's a unique ID. So yes, it's not Lee. 100%. So now it's hidden behind somebody else. It's not hidden, but it's a unique ID, a unique. Okay, and this is obviously the genius behind blockchain per se. Okay, came along Bitcoin. We're not going to get into the too much technical, only because I don't understand it. Okay, but came along Bitcoin. What did Bitcoin do? Bitcoin just overlaid onto blockchain. Bitcoin is not. Everyone's talking about, well, is Bitcoin brilliant? Is Bitcoin is a nothing essentially without the blockchain. Bitcoin works with the blockchain. So. And we'll discuss how you get your Bitcoins, but Bitcoin works with the blockchain. So if you've got a balance of Bitcoins, I have 1,000, Lee's got 5,000, Storm's got 6,000, okay? Those are Bitcoins that sit on the blockchain or the distributed ledger for everybody to see, okay? What then happens? Now I want to buy something. Okay? From somebody. So I say, okay, I've got 1,000 Bitcoins in my what we call a Bitcoin wallet. And guys, you lose your wallet, you lose your money. There's no guarantee, there's no insurances for this. Correct. So this is your own personal code. Keep it offline if you can. Okay. You lose it, you lose your money. Okay. So I say I want to buy something for 500 and I want to buy it from Nakedi. So Nakedi now joins the blockchain. And Nakedi's balance goes up to 500 Bitcoins, and mine goes down to 500. Now, what the blockchain does, and why everybody loves the blockchain, is because that transaction, how do I know, how does Nakedi know that I've got enough Bitcoins in my wallet to be able to pay with the 500? Well, instantaneous, just about. Okay, that's what I wanted. What happens now? Now enter the miners. The miners are not the miners, and as I explained to this guy, sorry. Yes. So, but what mining means? Mining is not to solve a puzzle. Essentially, what mining is to verify these transactions, to verify, to go back in the blockchain, to verify that yes, I have got 1,000 Bitcoins. or any other currency or any other thing that you want to put onto blockchain. It's just a blockchain, a chain of blocks. That I got the 500 over there to be able to. So when we say people are mining bitcoins, what are they doing? They're not solving puzzles out of the blue. What they're doing, they're verifying transactions that people that own Bitcoin that want to use their Bitcoin to buy and to sell, okay, are transacting with. So, and the problem, Gareth, is that it's taking. How long does it take to when you swipe your credit card? The ladies, well, let's ask the ladies. When you go to the shop and you swipe your credit card, it's quick. How long does it take to verify a Bitcoin transaction? 10 minutes, up to 10 minutes. Okay, it's up to 10 minutes, and that at this point in time, other than the massive electricity load that it takes, because all these computers they now call it what's called a Bitcoin farm, wherever. Every computer is in fact its own little thing. But in Russia now, they're setting up what they call Bitcoin farms, just massive warehouses with. That's for the hard and software of the farm. Yeah, correct. And that's to do the mining, and that's how they are. And you earn when they set this up, and no one knows who it is. Satoshi Nakamura, I think was his name. No one knows who he is, or different theories. Anybody that verified a transaction got paid 50 Bitcoin. And that halved every 4 years. So that went from 50 to 25. It's now 12 and a half. The problem's going to be is then when it halves, and it's no longer profitable for the people to be mining the Bitcoin. When we say mining, I'm just going to use the word mining. Mining means to verify the Bitcoin, the transactions. So when it's no longer profitable anymore, what happens? They're going to have to enter a new system. But keep in mind, guys, it's taking approximately. This is a big downer of the blockchain, more of Bitcoin, okay, is that Bitcoin is now taking approximately 10 minutes, okay, to verify that, which is obviously a little bit too long to do that. I'm just trying to see here. Just try and I promise you guys, I'm not surfing my phone. I'm just trying to. Any ideas, guys? Last little bit of useless information, and then we're going to move on to behavioral finance. The current price of Bitcoin? Give me dollars. We'll look. That's right. We're going to do a little bit of this every time, just to really get this theme going. It's very. How much? Give it to me in dollars. Gary says $13,500. Dollars. $9,000. Never. $14,000. Right now, and the reason I say right now is because the volatility is extreme. Am I right? $14,378. And I don't know what exchange this is on. Brilliant. And the market cap at this point in time, guys, and with this we're going to end with what we call the coin market. We haven't discussed that. Is 713 billion. Bitcoin is 241 billion. So it's a proportion. It's not. But Gareth is spot on. It's not. Everyone just talks about the coin market as being Bitcoin. It's not only Bitcoin. We'll discuss more next week. A sobering thought, guys. The total coin market is $713 billion. Apple's market cap, guys. Apple's market cap. They just touched 900 billion this afternoon. 900. So Apple Corporation, albeit it's a massive company, is bigger than the entire coin market at this point in time. They do make good products, of course. That we know. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yes, sir.